$500 million, getting it out the door. We want to understand where you're going to deploy that. You say utilities, renewables, petrochemicals, and subsectors. What portion of this $500 million will go to solar and renewables? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me this morning. Apicorp, as the only energy-focused Arab multilateral financial institution, has to play a bigger and a wider role to support its member countries and its clients, both in the public and the private sector. And in that light, we are working closely now to perform that role and to deploy additional funding to help our clients weather the storm of both COVID-19 and the severe oil price fluctuations. In situations or in crisis like this, the diversification of the energy mix becomes extremely important for countries, both exporters and importers, to pursue. And that's why the focus will be on enhancing this ability of these economies, particularly with a very tight fiscal space, to further strengthen their diversification strategy and go away from relying only on oil.
Ahmed, just in terms of getting a bit more direction from you as to where the priority is this going to be a chance for you to serve as a catalyst to help these MENA economies and industries move beyond oil, or are you not necessarily looking to do that?
Of course, we have to serve our the conventional energy and petroleum sectors, and also to diversify away from oil. The two are the low oil is part of this diversification approach. The energy sector in general is also a capital-intensive sector, and we are observing some investment reductions and delays in implementation as a result of this crisis. So the counter-cyclical role to address these funding shortfalls is an objective that we have to play as a partner to our member countries and our clients, both, as I said, private and public.
And in terms of the deployment of your capital, we understood that you were aiming to disperse $1 billion of investment in 2019. I want to understand, did you hit that number? And what number will you deploy this year?
No, the deployment of funds through equity and debt financing that we engage in basically is based on implementing our strategy in our member countries. There's no cap per se, but rather meeting the demand of our clients, and access to finance has to be one of our major objectives, particularly in situations like the current one, where access to finance becomes more difficult, both from the governments and from commercial banks. And that's why multilaterals like us have to step up and play a bigger role. So the allocation really depends on the needs, depends on where we can add value, depends also on mobilizing additional funding with us. We cannot finance everything 100%. We have to bring others, and that's why the collaboration and the partnership with other financial institutions is important.
Ahmed, does that mean you're seeing less of an interest for long-term loans from some of the key stakeholders? Are banks less interested to give you capital?
We raise funds in the markets as and when the opportunity presents itself, and we engage with our investor community always for opportunities to further our strategy. So our funding is always it always depends on the opportunities that present themselves, if that was your question. However, the commercial banks in general, in crises like this, may not be able to present financing with features that are suitable to the clients in these times, and that's why institutions like us have to take risks that others don't take and be able to help implement the needs and the projects that are planned and may otherwise be affected.